Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Discover Your Potential segment, brought to you by Smart Pet Talk. Today, we're joined by contributor, podcaster, and host Anna Devere, and she's joined by Beth Lauren, founder of the WellTech World Summit, where attendees can experience an array of informative and collaborative events, including panels, keynotes, and video presentations featuring leaders in FemTech, health tech, nutrition, mental health, and even more. Beth's interest in the intersection of wellness and technology peaked when the COVID lockdown altered her current venture. She clearly was not alone in her interest after over 1,900 people virtually attended the first ever WellTech World Summit, and that was back in 2023. Today, she's going to join me with Anna to chat about the future of the wellness industry, the importance of self-care, and her WellTech World Summit. Welcome to the show, my dear friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beth, so excited to have you on. Let's dive right in. Now, the U.S. wellness industry is valued at $1.8 trillion, and that's according to the Global Wellness Institute most recent data from April of 2024. And to go even further, the U.S. ranks number one out of 9 of 11 wellness sectors the GWI measures within the overall $5 trillion global wellness economy. So clearly, the U.S. wellness industry is booming, yet more people than ever seem to suffer from some more physical and some form of mental and health disalignment today, if you will. So how does your WellTech World Summit figure into the solution to this problem?
Yeah, well, Zen, thanks for having me. And the GWI is my Bible for all those stats. So the global economy is 5.6 trillion. So you would think we'd all be pretty well. But as you mentioned, we have a massive global obesity epidemic. We have a global mental health issue, especially for younger adults. So for the WellTech World Summit, like my gift was to curate these incredible people. Like we have speakers and panels and information that will offer really practical, usable information for entrepreneurs, ways to make themselves well, ways to make their employees well, everything from how to get proper sleep, how to not burn out, which is a common issue with entrepreneurs, how to take care of their mental health, how to take care of their families. And all of this is using the latest in technology, at that intersection of wellness and tech.
Wow, that you have a lot going on. And I know not only is this benefiting attendees' overall wellness, but it's a great event for building connections. And I know many came out of last year's summit with new event partnerships. And I think the goal of it all is all about harvesting community, product collaborations, or even guesting on each other's podcasts. So I think that's really interesting. So you've definitely created this great environment of like-minded people where these professional relationships can form and really harvest. Now I know Anna has some questions, so I'll hand it off to you, my girl.
Well, thank you. Beth, this summit sounds really exciting, and it sounds like it's aimed particularly at business owners in the wellness space, but is it also aimed at would-be entrepreneurs? Like if someone is interested in a career change in this field, what would your summit have to offer?
Yeah, excellent point. Last year, when 1,900 people joined us online, it was the first year, and we weren't sure who our audience was. And so we really looked at the data, and it was really a business-to-business event, really aimed at entrepreneurs. But in this country alone, there are 31 million entrepreneurs, which is 16% of the US adult workforce. So that's a lot. So definitely this event is for founders, but also it's for budding founders. I think, obviously with those kinds of numbers, you see we're really an entrepreneurial culture. And the wellness business is a perfect place to start that journey. There's, so many opportunities, supplements, wearables, skincare lines, athletic wear, like whatever your passion or your personal interest or your skill set, there's a way to get into the wellness economy. I think also it's offering opportunities for need that hasn't been met For example, last year we had this incredible menopause panel, which we're going to have again. And this year we're going to add andropause, which is male menopause, if people don't know, which is a real thing. It's not just a punchline. And, our panel was comprised of women from Ireland, Sweden, the US, and they all had created these incredible platforms and apps and podcasts and walk-in centers. And they're providing information and opportunities, education for perimenopausal women and menopausal women that just didn't exist in their communities. And they've grown. Their business is one of them. They have a platform that just raised $3 million. So clearly, this was a need that needed to be met. So I think there's so much opportunity out there in this industry.
You're definitely fulfilling a market. Now, the intersection of wellness and tech is an interesting one, but you are absolutely right to express an interest in this as the rise of new technological innovations offer new opportunities and advancements in various industries, right? Not just wellness. And this is only just the beginning. However, many people fear some of these technological advancements. In fact, there's actually a term for this called technophobia. And this fear typically arises for various reasons, whether it be for privacy concerns, an alarm for making the human workforce obsolete, or even just a general aversion to change. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on how the world of wellness and technology merge. And in your opinion, what are some of the ways that technology is democratizing the wellness world?
Yeah, it's really about accessibility and affordability. I mean, you can go on platforms I won't give, free press to, but that where you can do anything. You can take a yoga class for free. You can learn the proper use of a kettlebell. You can, learn about modalities you heard about but you didn't know about by using the internet. A lot of it's affordable, most of it's free, and instead of it being this aspirational thing where like, oh, gyms are so expensive or equipment's so expensive, or people look at body types and images of famous people and think it's not attainable for them. I think that technology has changed that. I mean, even if you look at, wearables, things that track, your blood pressure and your steps, all of that, all of those options are so affordable now. You don't have to get the top of the line model. You can get one that works for you, that's affordable. So definitely the tech is creating opportunities for everyone to really get well and to do it incrementally. You don't have to do everything at once and completely freak yourself out about the tech. You can choose the thing that's most important to you or that appeals to you most and just start with a wearable, start with an online yoga class, just, let it meet where you're at.
Great advice.
That is great advice. But sometimes, Beth, I think that we all suffer from information overload in this space. Do you have any advice for consumers on how to become more educated to be an advocate for their own self-care?
I hear you. I am just in the last few weeks, just 18 different opinions on even like Ozempic and whether it's healthy or not. And so that's, everything from Ozempic to number of hours you should sleep to whether we need collagen every day. So I think really to cut through the noise, find a practitioner or a medical, a physician, someone who's in the zeitgeist who really speaks to you and what they're saying resonates with you. And then look up their credentials and, see whose podcast they're on. If they're consistently being booked at top rated podcasts or podcasts of people that you trust, that's a reason. Those podcasters have a vested interest in bringing you real information, truthful information. So just, you can follow along that way. And that really helps you to cut through the noise. Just, be a smart consumer. The way you might read a food label, just, that's the way you should vet the information you're getting online.
Well, it's clear you do dedicate an extensive amount of time and effort towards bettering others, if you will, in their self care and wellness efforts. But looking towards yourself, I know you've been open about battling PTSD as a result of surviving a violent childhood assault. And now, as an entrepreneur, constantly working to help others, do you find it challenging to maintain balance between running a business and your own self care? I mean, I know it's probably easy to get swept up in the work.
Yeah, excellent question, and thank you, Zen. I try to practice what I preach, but I am human and I fall down weekly. It's hard to do balance, especially because the event is in London and I'm in New York and I'm kind of working in two different time zones. But I'm a student of Ayurveda, and in basic terms, it's really an Indian medicine that's been around for like 5,000 years, and it's actually a technology that works in harmony with your individual body constitution and with the seasons, and it's a much deeper dive, but that's kind of basic construct of Ayurveda. And I try to employ Ayurvedic supplements that help me de-stress and help me with my sleep. I try to be consistent in my routines. I'm really dedicated to my meditation practice. So all those things really kind of get my day set up and help me to kind of stay aligned. But a meeting comes up that runs long, or you have to do something early in the morning, or eating on the run. It's like, I'm not perfect, but I think the most important thing is setting up a good morning routine, because that sets you up for the day, and then really kind of paying attention to your body, and listening to what it needs.
You're such a wealth of information. Yeah, Zen. I can see you're agreeing. Yeah, right?
I know I stopped. I didn't want to talk over you, but I love what you're saying, Beth. It's absolutely crucial that you always make time for yourself, and it makes me think of a quote by author and thought leader Bryant McGill, and that's taking care of yourself is the most powerful way to begin to take care of others, because you have to start with yourself or you'll have nothing left to give, and it's clear that's exactly what you've done. So well done.
100%. I mean, I think that's almost a new concept for us. I think for cultural reasons or societal reasons, we're always like, be selfless, take care of other people. And we're finally realizing that that's why we're all burnt out. Like, we need to really like prioritize our own health, or we're not going to be good for anybody else.
Yeah.
This is what everybody needs. Would be such a fantastic conversation and a summit for consumers. Do you have any plans to build that out for consumers as well?
I'm glad you asked. The flagship event in London is the first time we're doing it in person. The UK economy is the fifth largest growing economy for wellness in the world. And there's a lot of health tech and FemTech companies, startups in the UK. So we're excited about the London event in November, which we can talk about more. But so that's really kind of a entrepreneurial, kind of a B2B event, really founders and funders, although it is open to everyone. But we're really planning to do smaller targeted events throughout the calendar year that are really focused. We are in the early planning stages of a mental health event that we're probably going to do in New York City in 2025. And that is open, I think would be of interest to anybody. In all the aspects, we can use technology to make sure we have good mental health.
Wow, you have it definitely lined up there. So we have 1 minute left. We're almost out of time. I'm excited to hear what attendees can expect from this year's event, but you seem to have covered it all. So as far as discover your potential takeaways, what inspires you to do what you do, and why are you hopeful for the future?
Yeah, I think I'm really inspired by what happened last year, that 1,900 people showed up online and were really excited. And I did surveys afterwards and people loved it. And so many people, and you referenced this before, like people that were on panels, exactly what I wanted happened. They collaborated, they were on each other's pods. Some people are working on products together. And I really feel like dialogue and making sure that people building the tech and the people that are in the wellness space are talking to each other, and that have opportunities to offer advice and collaborate and help each other scale businesses. I think if COVID taught us anything, I think it's like we're in this together: mental, physical, spiritual health. I just want to mention, so the event is live on November 19th in London. It's a full day of panels and qigong and yoga and healthy food. And if people go to WellTech World Summit, .com and sign up for the mailing list. Early bird tickets go on sale on June 7th. And if you're on our mailing list, you'll be the first to know. And the early bird tickets have a really nice discount.
Wow. Well, that says it all. We are officially out of time. And I don't know if you have any closing thoughts, but I
No.
sure feel fulfilled. Thank you so much for being transparent and really laying the land down the way that people should really truly be receiving it, because it's no easy feat to be able to accumulate and speak to the amount of people you do within a summit and then have positive feedback for returning attendees year after year. you're definitely speaking to them and evoking some level of emotion.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. It was great. Great. Thank you, Zen. And thank you, Anna.
Yep. My pleasure.
That was Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Smart Pet Talk. And that was the incredible Beth Lauren, founder of the WellTech World Summit. Definitely be sure to check it out and stay up to date online at welltechworldsummit.com and on the gram at WellTech World Summit. And of course, to see more of our beautiful Anna, head to discoveryourpotentialshow.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.